Hey friends, so I have a really sad update today. Um, I was doing a bunch of work on the tank the other day, and um, I lost a ton of stuff. So I'll go into more detail. Okay, so I had a bunch of frags in my tank, and some friends came over to get some of the coral and some of the Chaeto. So I ended up taking 2/3 to 3/4 of the Chaeto out of the sump. I removed a bunch of frags and then I added a whole bunch of new frags. So I just tested my water. I just checked for phosphates, didn't bother with nitrates, and my phosphates are completely off the charts. It's at 0.414, which, I mean, the phosphates run pretty high in my tank usually, at about like, but high is like 0.1. Um, a lot of people out there who do like low nutrients, they're keeping their parameters at less than 0.01 or something. So this is like way high. And the reason I checked for that was because, the internet, online forums are a great resource. So I was losing a specific type of coral and I didn't understand why. So I was just looking it up. I think I searched like uh, Monty's RTN frag plugs. And so I got these new frag plugs. And I've used these before and there haven't been any issues, but um, this time I added 12. And I think it was just a combination of all the tinkering, like the change in salinity, um, the addition of the phosphates from the plugs and the glue and the oils from my hands being in the tank, and the removal of all that Chaeto. So if I had only done like one of those things, or had just done them slower, I think everything would have been fine. But it's like a combo effect of everything. It's sort of a chain reaction in a system. When you lose one coral, it raises the ammonia levels, the nitrate levels, and then that stresses out other corals, and then when they die, they release ammonia and nitrates, and you have elevated nutrients, and it sort of exponentially increases. Okay, so let's have a look at some of the damage. Um, Here's my orange plating Monty. Orange plating Monty, all but gone. There's like just a few bits of tissue still, and some polyps intact. My orange Setosa is, you see all those white tips? That's not new growth. That's a loss of tissue. Got a naughty Spiral Monty in the back. Really sad about this one because it didn't cost me that much, but it was really finally starting to take off and was developing a really beautiful sort of scrolling plating pattern. Here, the purple Postulopora that was doing kind of well too. It's all but gone. This one is my Sunset Monty. I'm surprised that this one is all bleached out and lost all its tissue because I still have some over here that's doing okay, and still got some in the back there that's doing all right. Here I also lost my purple Idaho grape plating Monty here too. It's all gone. Back there was an orange plating Monty also. Let's take a top-down view of all the dye out. Yeah, sad about this one on the right because the pattern was really quite nice. Yeah, what's really surprising is that all the acros are doing fine. I would have expected them to go first, but I guess the Monties are just really susceptible to the increase in phosphates. Yeah, all the Zoas are doing fine. Softies are doing fine. Yeah. It's okay. We'll just try again. Here are the major takeaways. 1, make changes to your tank incrementally. only just taking out the Chaeto and not done anything else, my system would have been fine. Or if I had left the Chaeto and added all those 12 frag plugs, I would have been fine. Or if I had just taken out a little bit of the Chaeto and added like 1 or 2 frag plugs, it would have been fine. But the system just gets overloaded, especially when a small contained system like this, which our reef tanks are. You want to do things very slow. 2, don't work on your tank or make any changes to your tank before you're going on vacation, or like if you know you're going to be away from the tank. So, you know, like, as you know, I keep the sink at work, and I was doing all this work on a Friday, so, you know, I just happened to be back here on Saturday night, so it was 24 hours already. But if I had done this on a Thursday night and then come into work on Friday morning, there would have been much less damage on the tank, and I could have done something to prevent the disaster. I was able to throw some carbon into the back, added new poly filter. So, you know, if I had found out what happened on a Friday morning, I could have gone to the local fish store, gotten some water, and done the water change, which I'm going to do now. Number 3, I think it's important to keep backup supplies handy. So luckily I had an extra bag of Chemipure. I had extra poly filter that I was able to change out, and filter floss that I could change out. The one thing that I didn't have that would have been helpful too is just spare salt water. Now if you make salt water at home yourself, then you're good to go. You could just make some more. But for me, I don't make my own salt water here because I'm at work. But if I had like an extra gallon of water, just to replenish what I had taken out when I was giving those frags away, that would have been one less parameter that was out of whack. My main takeaway from this is, you know, setbacks are normal. I was pretty devastated when I first saw all the bleach out yesterday, but you know, I've been in this hobby long enough that I've had tank crashes, I've lost corals that I've really loved, and these are just great learning experiences. I think the biggest takeaway for me is that I just need to be patient. Our tanks thrive on stability, so every time we're tinkering or doing anything with the tank, we're upsetting that balance. So you just want to be careful, tread lightly, small steps, patience. All right, thanks.